This is SBS World News with Raina Sarampayat.
Good evening. Novak Djokovic is tonight a free man. After days in detention, the men's tennis world number one has this evening had his visa cancellation overturned by an Australian court. Supporters flooded Melbourne streets, chanting for his freedom, celebrating the decision, but also getting out of hand. However, even after today's win, his attendance at the Australian Open remains uncertain. Joining me now is Naveen Razik. Naveen, how have events unfolded in Melbourne tonight?
Well, good evening, Raina. It's been a chaotic end to an extraordinary few days which have captured the attention of the whole world, tennis and otherwise. It seemed to reach a climax in Melbourne just before 9 p.m. when a car which is believed to have been carrying the tennis star emerged from the offices of his lawyers and was mobbed by a massive crowd of supporters. Now, the blacked-out windows make it difficult to verify who was on board. A ring of police were surrounding that particular vehicle, but they seemed powerless to stop the crowd as the car almost led a procession of supporters through the city, one of them even jumping onto the roof of the vehicle. It was just sheer chaos before police ultimately deployed pepper spray to try and clear the mob. Extraordinary scenes. Well, the car was able to depart before tensions escalated further. The mob is now spread out, with some supporters left looking worse for wear, including one Reuters reporter. A nearby 7-Eleven shop became overrun by people who were trying to buy milk to try and wash out their eyes, leaving the pavement covered with liquid. The crowd is still there tonight. They occupy the streets around the building and they've now moved on to Federation Square as we go to air.
Well, Naveen, a judge earlier overturned the decision to cancel Novak Djokovic's visa, didn't he? What brought about the change?
Yes, Raina, the world number one was earlier today sensationally freed from immigration detention late on Monday afternoon after the federal court judge, Anthony Kelly, ordered that the original decision to cancel his visa be quashed and Djokovic be paid costs. The order was made after lawyers for Home Affairs Minister Karen Andrews conceded that the decision of immigration officials to proceed with that early morning airport interview with Djokovic and subsequently cancel his visa last week was unreasonable in the circumstances. The judge questioning what more could he have done. Now, Djokovic is yet to comment publicly, but following the conclusion of the hearing, an affidavit authored by him was made public by the court in which he writes about his confusion and his suspicions around the decision to deny his visa. He believes that decision was made at a high level. I believe that I had complied with all the rules about being permitted to enter Australia, he says. I did not understand what was happening and I did not understand why he was considering cancelling my visa. I was upset and confused. It was about 4 a.m. and I needed some help, and I told him that. This all gave me the impression or idea that the decision about my visa was not completely up to the people that were talking to me and was instead up to someone else above them. Now, this is far from the end of the saga. The Immigration Minister, Alex Hawke, can still cancel his visa using his personal powers. That could see the star handed a 3-year ban on entering the country, but we understand that decision won't be made tonight.
And Naveen, have we heard any reaction from the tennis star's fans in Serbia?
Well, the news was very quick to travel back to Djokovic's home nation of Serbia, where for days thousands have been rallying for the world number one's release, including members of his family. Here's what some of his supporters in Belgrade had to say in reaction to his release order.
The man is the greatest in the world. He did so many good things. He's not guilty. I think the decision is the right one.
It was indeed a political thing. Although in the beginning I was a bit angry because he's not vaccinated and because he allowed this to happen.
As for what the rest of the tennis world thinks, well, rival Rafael Nadal weighed in today on Spanish radio in reaction to the verdict. He called Novak Djokovic's COVID-19 vaccination controversy a circus, and he joked that he would rather prefer that the world number one tennis player didn't play at the upcoming Australian Open at all. This, Raina, it seems, is only the first set of an extraordinary battle.
Thank you very much, Naveen.